Ron Howard, it is so cool to meet you. I promised I wasn't going to gush, but I've been a fan of yours since my mum used to make me watch Happy Days, and I loved it.
Thank
So
you.
it's so cool to be in your presence.
My pleasure. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
I also wanted to say a massive thank you, because we have seen movies about addiction and the toll it takes on a person, a terrible toll usually, but we hardly ever see what it does to loved ones. And I think that's why this film is really important. But why did you feel so compelled to share this story?
Well, when I read the book, it resonated with me on a cultural level, not a political level, but the minute details of the family really rang true to me. And my own roots are from rural America. My dad was from a farm. My mom's from a very small town. And so I still feel myself, having lived my whole life, basically on sound stages, that I'm very much defined by a lot of those principles and a lot of those patterns. So I found that interesting. Also, I think most families have been touched by emotional disturbance, addiction issues, and as we have in my family as well. And I agree with you. I felt that within the story, even though he didn't really focus on it that much in the book, that there was this powerful opportunity to deal with issues that were specific to the culture. Sure, there's an opioid crisis in that region, but that just happens to be that brand of addiction that is prevalent in that region. It's more about patterns of behavior, past, present, and what they might mean to the future. And a lot of them are cultural, but all of them are so human and so relatable. And I hope to draw that out in the film.
When you work on a film like this, what impact does it have on your life, or what message do you take away from it and bring to your life?
For me, it was really, it sounds a little corny, but it was the power of love, because
not corny.
Well, thank you. And it was that possibility, that recognition that you can have deep regrets about decisions you might have made in the past, but as an individual, you still have this opportunity, which is to make the kind of decision that can really matter to you, or especially to people you care about. And despite, Mama's regrets and some of the lousy choices she made, his mother, played by Amy Adams, Bev, they did come through for him, especially Mama, and even in her own damaged way, Bev. And I can also say, that after that story, the relationship with Bev gets to be better and better, and she becomes more and more a really positive factor in the family's life.
JJ earned his way into Yale, but there's a scene where he just feels like a fish out of water. You have literally grown up in this business, but do you ever, after all these years, still feel like a fish out of water?
In a lot of similar ways. I mean, honestly,
really?
like knowing where the silverware goes, should I say this? I once had the opportunity to sit next to Princess Diana after a screening of Apollo 13, and I picked up her bread, and she was unbelievably gracious, and we got another piece. And it all went without anybody ever, but I actually picked up the wrong bread, and it was hers. And thankfully, she was incredibly kind and pretended not to notice. I still get it wrong sometimes.
Well, do you know what? You may get it wrong in those circumstances, but Ron, for me, you never get it wrong on screen. Can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you for taking the time out to chat. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.